Let me welcome our sixth Samara International Neuro Week and the conference. For 6 years in a row, we've been organizing this conference. We started as an interregional event, and now it's clearly an all Russia and also international event, especially in the last couple of years. I'm really thankful to our colleagues from a number of countries all over the world who join us every year. And this year, the composition of speakers is actually much stronger. Some outstanding scientists and researchers agreed to take part in our conference with outstanding presentations based on decades of research and study with fundamental and applied results that already reached some of our patients and helped them rehabilitate. I'm glad that Samara and our state medical university became platforms for discussion and exchange of opinion so that everything that we are inventing would reach our patients. Distinguished colleagues, once again, congratulations on this next conference. I'm glad that we're together again, and I'm sure we will get some results that would help our patients. And now I'd like to declare this conference and our entire week open. At this point, let me share with you some of the results of our activities. We haven't seen each other for about a year, and our university kept developing. It's been a year since I was appointed president of the Samara Medical University. That's why my presentation is entitled 101, Year of Samara State University, and it's actually our 101st year of existence. And let me tell you about some of the results that we have achieved. Today, Samara State Medical University is a powerful research and educational medical center, one of the leading such centers in the Russian Federation. We have 7 faculties, 4 educational institutions, 77 departments, a variety of hospitals for about 1,000 beds, an Institute of Digital Development, Innovative Development, R&D institutions, a number of new structural subdivisions have been established, and the IT medicine center, the Lean Technology Center. We have a techno park. We have a multi-profile simulation center. Talking about the external environmental ecosystem, which is also very important. So we cannot work separately from the rest of the environment. That's why we pay so much attention to the integration as we interact with development institutions, with real industry companies, with federal authorities, with regional authorities, and other stakeholders. Our university is a coordinator of the Volga region medical cluster, which includes 6 universities. We also coordinate innovative cluster of pharmaceutical technologies here in the Samara region with about 70 participants. For about 6 years now, we've been forming the new industry for our area, IT in medicine. And of course, another strategic goal is to make our region known not just as one of the centers of space exploration, petrochemistry, or other industries, but also as one of the IT medicine capitals of Russia. We are in close interaction with our regional authorities and with the governor of the region, Mr. Zarov, who supports all initiatives of our university as we develop breakthrough technologies. But most importantly, these technologies and developments reach our patients here. I'd like to once again thank the governor and the government of our region Again, we are a center of innovative and technological development. Our university has extensive interaction with real industry companies. They can be major state corporations and IT companies, dozens and dozens of companies that really work in the economy. Of course, we cooperate with a number of development institutions, with the Foundation of Innovative Support, with Skolkovo and many others, and we pay special attention to interaction with foreign or international companies and universities. We cannot develop science or research in the Russian Federation separately or in separation from the rest of the world. Again, it's of global nature, and we are trying to reach synergy and get to the new levels. Our university today is a scientific and innovative center developing a number of areas that are connected with the topic of our conference today. We have a medical social rehabilitation center. We develop expert systems and systems of supporting making decisions by doctors, preventive medicine, educational technologies that help us develop new products. We have an extensive knowledge in the industry. We have clinics and trials. We interact with actual hospitals in the region and the entire country, and we always have access to depersonalized medical data. As we accumulated experience in the last 8 years, we have some serious technological competencies having to do with VR. We run 7 VR projects and 6 projects in augmented reality, neural networks, 2 projects in big data, 6 projects in BCI, and also lab on chip. There are 5 projects there, simulation technologies, and many other innovations. And for most of the projects, we have already reached the stage of making it part of the everyday life. We're also one of the centers of the digital technologies federal project here in the Russian Federation. We want to create conditions to increase the number of companies that are involved in forming the markets of digital economy. We also try to develop new products and services for virtual and augmented reality, and we need to overcome technological barriers as we reach targets of the roadmap for the comprehensive digital technologies program. Again, we're running a number of projects currently, and for each one of them we have a business partner, and at the end we will have a special project for commercialization. These are the projects that we are implementing. We have to develop special devices to restore and rehabilitate micro and general motor functions of humans using virtual reality and different audiovisual scenarios. We create a set for social rehabilitation of patients with multiple sclerosis and autism. And we also work on other areas as we create a simulator for surgery using virtual reality. We develop a system of tracking of marker objects and feedback in mobile devices of augmented reality. We have software, hardware, module of integration with a surgery microscope for surgery navigation system. We have 2 simulators to deal with emergency situations at gas distribution networks and checking knowledge and skills of the people working with railroad systems. And also have some projects related to HR, digital HR. This is what we're going to implement as we are done with our main program. Also, we have a well-equipped techno park. We have more than 20 units of high-tech equipment, more than 120 highly qualified specialists who work for our university. They are IT specialists, engineers, and designers. Again, they are university employees, let me say it again. And we have all these broad competencies as we develop our projects from ideas all the way to trial and mock-up stage. Let me also briefly introduce to you some of the products that will be presented later in the course of our Neuro Week. There's one project, this is Reviver, to rehabilitate people with the defects of lower extremities. It helps imitate walking as the patient is involved in the virtual environment, as there's tactile impact on the feet of the patient. There's feedback. We get excellent motivation for the patient. We activate their walking reflex, improve their motor functions, increase their efficiency of the rehabilitation process, and there are around 20 such units already deployed in the centers of CRS. Another project is, again, to rehabilitate patients with defects of lower and upper extremities. We started working with kids, working with palsy patients, and then we moved on to the adult patients. And the product is actually works quite well. There's this optic tracking of the movements of those patients. There's the feedback with some visual and audio effects. And again, it has been installed in more than 20 Russian centers. Another one is Reviver gloves for micromotor movements. As we track the movements of patients' fingers and wrist in the VR environment, there's this feedback, tactile feedback. We also can collect analytical information. We see how we can restore the micromotor functions, and eventually we speed up rehabilitation doing that. Our next product is Reviver Audio. This is hardware, software set of equipment to rehabilitate spatial capabilities and hearing. And that helps our patients to find themselves in the environment and to orient in the environment. We diagnose spatial and speech-based hearing. We activate their cognitive functions. And another project deals with patients of problems with lower and upper limbs or extremities. We use VR helmets, optical tracking systems, biological feedback with audio and visual effects, and the ability to solve cognitive tasks. There is gaming, first-person content that motivates the patient, and the analytical information system allows the doctor to monitor the progress of the patient. As I said today, together with our partners, SmartLab, running neuromarketing study of objective assessment of emotions and feelings of human beings as they interact with advertising and the product.
So what are the advantages? First of all, we can measure the information about our consumers' reactions at any point in time. We can look at the ads through the clientele's eyes, and we can research outdoor advertising, TV advertising, goods packaging, and so on and so forth. So this lab has been created as part of our normal physiology department, and they're doing the research in this field. So I would like to thank my colleagues from the Higher School of Economics in Moscow. We have won the grants for a joint laboratory, for a mirror laboratory. We have been using state-of-the-art neurorehabilitation technologies. So we have been applying virtual reality, robotics, and so on and so forth. As a result, we have developed a joint software that facilitates the rehabilitation of patients after cranial trauma and stroke. And I would also like to tell you a little bit about our research in neurorehabilitation so that you have more of a glimpse of our competences. Together with the HA's development company, we developed the Pirogov anatomical table. This is a 3D human body model, so it allows us to study the gross anatomy of the human body, the gross anatomy, normal anatomy, pathological anatomy, surgery, histology, pathomorphology. So we have been using PACS and viewer systems that allow us to come up with a 3D model of a specific individual. Therefore, we can evaluate the state of the patients and we can select the management tactic in treatment of these patients. So I would like to say that that is something that's truly a breakthrough for the Russian Federation and the world, and this virtual 3D model is already in use. We have also created an educational VR simulator that allows us to have extremely realistic 3D rendering. We can model the doctor's performance. So there are a lot of different elements. It could be also multi-user. The system, it allows for extensive system of accreditation. So it works with ophthalmology, endocrinology, and so on, as well as it has communicative stimulation. We have also developed the Autoplan surgical navigation system. That is the first system that has been fully tested and has been registered in Russia. So we have already integrated 10 of these systems across various centers in the Russian Federation. When we're talking about breakthrough ideas, we of course have to mention how important it is to educate and train our staff. So we have to start from high schools, and so we have set up special centers that are housed in our universities. So we work with undergraduate, postgraduate students, and so we are one of the first in this country to offer this training in medical IT system, medical diagnostic imaging, and so on and so forth. So we have developed a training product for PhD students of medicine. And this year, we introduced a new course in our university, which is medical cybernetics. And next year, we will open our doors to potential students. Another thing that I wanted to emphasize is that we have been developing more thorough integration of our products into medical education. We have been expanding our research into big data, into the system that provides support for medical decision making. This system uses AI. We have been introducing a pilot project to use experimental legal regulations, the so-called regulatory sandbox. And our university, our medical university in Samara, has been a part of the Research and Education Consortium. And so we have been taking part in a very important tender. Distinguished colleagues, I tried to be very brief in telling you about our achievements that came to be in the last year. We have also developed a program for further advancements over the next 5 years. So we have plans to make Samara Medical University one of the leading medical research universities in Russia. And so we do hope that our university will become known globally as well. I would like to tell you that this year marked a watershed for our university because we appeared in a very prestigious international rating, Time Education. We have become one of the top 200 global universities, 200 global medical universities in the world, and we have appeared in many subcategories of this ranking system, which also shows that we have chosen the right development vector. We have been developing bilingual learning environments. We have been inviting our international colleagues to take part in joint educational activities. We have set up student exchange programs, lecture exchange programs, and so on. So I do believe that joint development of our university and cooperation with the global leading medical universities and clinics will contribute to the development of medical science. As a provost of this medical university, I would like to assure you that I am going to give my full personal support and financial support to any new undertakings so that our medical university is fully integrated into the global development of neural technologies. I personally believe that neural technologies are the most promising medical technologies, and I think that we will see a substantial cumulative effect after these technologies have been introduced. I do hope that we are going to have a fascinating Neuro Week hosted by Samara Medical University.